All right, good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. I am King 5 meteorologist Adam Claybon. Thanks for joining us live here on King 5 Plus. If you're watching this a little later, we're right around 8 p.m. on Sunday. Wanted to get on and give you a quick little update. This video would not be as long as some of the other ones because not a whole lot has really changed in the forecast, but did want to let you know we have extended first alert now through Tuesday morning. Models kind of hinting at this band of snow. It looks like a pretty steady band of snow moving through tomorrow night into early Tuesday morning. That could kind of give us a repeat of what we saw this morning across western Washington. Some quick light accumulations coating to an inch, maybe two around throughout that point. Plus, we still have some other spots that we could see a little more snow. We're going to talk about that, plus some really cold air and some deeply cold wind chills that are going to be in place. So let's go ahead and get into it because I wanted to show you these latest totals. This is as of about 5 p.m. later this evening. National Weather Service providing these for us here. Amounts in some of the higher elevations. We're talking more of the foothills, getting around 800 to 1,000 feet. Diablo up to 5 inches. Nia Bay getting up to 3 inches. Of course, that's closer to sea level there, but pretty impressive stuff here as we've made our way through the past 24 hours. Now, many of us have not seen those amounts, and many of us who have seen snow have definitely seen that continue to melt. And that will be the case again here as we head into the day tomorrow because we're still in first alert mode again through Tuesday morning now because of some of the extra snow we're expecting, plus these really bitterly cold temperatures and wind chills that are going to be impacting some of the area around here. Some icy spots during the mornings too. Your morning drives will include some of these areas that have seen snow throughout the day. They've melted, more slush, and then became rock hard, crusty, and sort of crunchy and very slick. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow morning and also into Tuesday morning as well. As again, we'll expect some lighter accumulations with some off and on snow showers that we'll continue to see here as we go over the next couple of days. There you go. You can see the couple of red bars there through Tuesday morning because of first alert. And well, we're actually still seeing some snow out this way at our SchoolNet site in Bellevue. Wanted to show you this because we did pick up the snow throughout the day and kept it around. It should be sticking in place here into the night as now we're in the nighttime hours and you don't get as much of that melting. Plus, temperatures expected to drop below the freezing point tonight. Beginning to pick up a little more snow here in Bellingham. You can see some of that kind of showing up on the camera lens. That's one of the spots we could see more snow here over the next couple of days. And then here in Seattle, things actually fairly quiet. We had a band earlier this evening, but things are quiet. We're right around that freezing point and we're at 33 with a little bit of wind out there. So radar, you can see some snow showers up this way. Clallam, Jefferson County, Nia Bay, heading over towards now, looks like Port Angeles, Crescent. We're dealing with some of that too. And seeing that extend farther off towards the west. Forks, Quileute, La Push, off to the north and to the east right here. We had a report of some lightning bolts showing up right there. Some thunder snow up this way, just west of Ferndale. Kind of impressive stuff, but either way, things have definitely started to calm down a little bit from that. But some instability in the atmosphere. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw that again at some point tomorrow. But most of that activity now heading up into the foothills of Skagit and Whatcom County. And down this way, you can see a lot less of that activity in place across parts of Puget Sound. And should continue to see that. Won't see too much widespread activity here throughout the night, but again, a very light snow shower or two could continue to be possible. So we do have some winter weather advisories. Those are out until 1 p.m. tomorrow for areas around the foothill communities for north and southwest interior. We're also going to include Hood Canal in that as well as South Sound. Maybe a coating up to an inch of snow with that. Very slick again for tomorrow morning because of that and because of temperatures dropping below the freezing point tonight. It should melt off as we start to warm up tomorrow afternoon. And then the areas where we could see the better chances of maybe some of this sticking around and maybe coming down just slightly heavier, northwest and parts of the north coast as well as the central coast and the Strait of Juan de Fuca as we get a little more of that enhancement off of the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Now, I also wanted to point this out because this is going to mean cold air, and this colder air will also mean slick spots and that snow kind of sticking around a little while longer. Out there towards the foothills, this is where we're expecting to see these cold weather advisories bring wind chills down to about 15 to 20 degrees. That is going to be the wind factoring in with the temperature and bringing down what it feels like to the exposed skin. And then for western Whatcom County, that's going to be where we have wind chills that could drop down to as low as maybe 5 to 15 degrees. I wouldn't be surprised if we got those closer down to about 0. So definitely want to be careful of that. And that's going to last until Wednesday morning. So you saw the foothills, that's until Tuesday morning. The parts of Whatcom County, that's where we're going to see that Fraser outflow wind and that those gusty winds sometimes bring in some of those lower lower wind chills. Futurecast here throughout the night, kind of off and on here in activity. You can see a lot more of it sticking out over parts of the Olympic Peninsula. That's out this way over areas such as Quileute, Port Angeles, Sahola, down around Shelton maybe, and then down towards Hoquiam, Wishkah, Aberdeen, all this area right here having the higher chances as you're going to be closer to that area of low pressure. Off to the east again, up this way, Whatcom County, little convergence happening with that wind coming out of the Fraser River outflow there. That's going to continue to be an eye or a place that we keep an eye on for. Now we continue to tomorrow afternoon. You can see temperatures back up above the freezing point, so a lot of this, which is going to fall, kind of like Sunday again, it's going to fall. A lot of it's going to melt, especially on those main bridges or those main roads and highways. Something that is well traveled shouldn't be much of an issue. More of your neighborhood roads, though, bridges and overpasses. We could still see some slushy areas there, so do be careful of that. We'll continue on into tomorrow evening, and this is when we do expect that next band of steady snow to start to come together a little more. And this is when we could see the better chances of maybe accumulating snow for parts around Puget Sound, especially heading into the night. And that's the nighttime hours. You can see temperatures back at that freezing point for most of our locations. So as that continues to move off towards the east and to the north, it's going to do so slowly. And so we'll continue to pile up some of the snow there. That might be our best opportunity for maybe picking up another coating to an inch in most of these spots right here, especially once we head up into the foothills. And then we really start to see that taper off as we head into Tuesday morning. So it shouldn't be as much of an issue, but with temperatures back around that freezing point again, this is why we have first alert here through Tuesday morning. Some icy spots could develop as that colder air really begins to settle on in. So be careful there, and also out this way across parts of the Olympic Peninsula as well. We'll be back near that freezing point too in a lot of our locations there. So all of this will continue on. We'll see that kind of die off as we head on into Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures back well above the freezing point, upper 30s, maybe even some 40s if we get some sun out there, and you'll see a little more mixing beginning to take shape because of that. And that spin still out this way too, out across areas of the Pacific. That center of low pressure is out this way. So as long as it stays out there, we're still going to be close enough to get some moisture from it, but it is going to pivot its way a little farther south as we head on into more of the day on, I would say, Thursday. So be prepared for that, but also be prepared too for some of these off and on snow showers to kind of stick around with us. As far as what we're expecting snow total wise, up around maybe an inch. Now Bellingham, I think we could see a little more, and out towards Quileute where you see this number around 5 inches, I think it may be a little less than that. So just keep it in mind. And then a lot of these numbers that you're seeing around Puget Sound, keep in mind that if that half an inch or an inch does come down, it might melt before you start to see it, and then you won't really get those high totals that you're seeing, or it won't look as much as what is indicating right here. So the melting and the mixing definitely going to play a role when it comes to accumulations with that. But all this, yes, is being generated by this area of low pressure that is spinning down the coast, and you can see that swirl just off of the coast here as it makes its way down across parts of Oregon, and eventually bringing a lot more moisture down across parts of Northern California. That extends off into Idaho, Nevada as well, and up into Utah, where they're definitely going to be really getting in on some pretty good snows down there and continuing to replenish and stock up on their snowpack there. For us up here, you can see it really starts to quiet down by the end of the week, and we keep this cold pattern in place. And then by the weekend, we got another system coming in from the northwest. Again, a weaker one that doesn't really have a ton of moisture, so it's not a huge issue. All right, let's move on to the temperatures because we do expect those to really drop down. Here we are tomorrow morning. Below freezing, 20s definitely as you go farther to the north. Then we'll head on into more of the day on Monday. Temperatures back up above freezing. Again, most of the snow that's going to fall down should melt. And then we'll head on into early Tuesday morning, and you can see those numbers again, 20s and 30s. Clearer spots, if we do start to see some of those, will be in the low 20s. So that cold air is really going to settle on in before we start to try to warm up again, heading on into Tuesday afternoon, back in those lower 40s and upper 30s. And then we'll head on into Wednesday morning and see those numbers well into the 20s and the 30s here across western Washington. Wanted to show you these real field temperatures though, because that's why we have the cold weather advisories, especially up near Whatcom County and across some of our foothill communities. That's because we're going to see the wind really play a role in how it feels outside, and by early tomorrow morning, you got a lot of teens up that way around Bellingham, closer to Puget Sound. 20s, some lower 30s here and there, but it's going to be more of the theme that as we go here into your Tuesday morning, again, Bellingham, Whatcom County, the San Juan Islands, teens and 20s up there, and we're talking low 20s too as how it feels, while seeing upper 20s and lower 30s. Still really cold here around western Washington and across parts of Puget Sound, just not nearly as what we're expecting as you get up closer to the Canadian border. And then we'll start to deal with that again heading on into Wednesday morning as we see that wind chill drop down closer to the upper single digits. That Fraser River outflow definitely a huge factor when it comes to providing a lot of cold air, and especially for us here in the lowlands as you get closer to parts of Puget Sound. If it penetrates south enough, it gives us a better chance of seeing some of that lowland snow. We've just been seeing more of a south wind here over these past couple of days. That's why we've been getting a little mixing and temperatures back up above the freezing point. All right, let's talk about highs here the next few days. Normally we should be at 49. See a lot of 30s showing up right there, right? 39 on Monday, and we really don't get back closer to 40 again until maybe late this week, maybe more so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a little bit of a better chance right there. And then as you look at the low temperatures, a lot of them are going to be in the 20s here as we go over the next few nights. So definitely bundle up and definitely try to make sure that you stay warm. All right. Forecast tonight calling for those off and on snow showers, temperatures in the 20s at Bellingham down to 21 degrees. Check out Paradise. I know many of you are, probably none of you are heading up there here late tonight, but that's going to be down to 8 degrees across the passes, especially if you're driving. Make sure to have something handy in your car to be prepared if you do get caught outside. So forecast tomorrow will call for those temperatures to top off in the upper 30s to low 40s, and looking at your forecast over the next 7-day stretch, we get out of this pattern where we have more of the widespread snow showers that will be maybe a little heavier into Tuesday morning, and then we'll have some flurries still sticking around for us heading on into Wednesday, and we should see less moisture in place as we head later on into the week. And then Sunday, yeah, we still have another system coming on through, maybe a bit milder, creating more of that wintry mix. But again, tomorrow morning and really into Tuesday morning, still in first alert mode. And this is going to be because, again, those icy spots that could develop from some of the slush freezing up again here as we head into the night. And bridges and overpasses are going to be the main threat for you, as well as more of those side streets and some of those hills, too. Those can be a little tricky sometimes if you're trying to travel across those. But some of the main highways, main roads, I think you should be fine. So be careful of that and dress warm, especially if you're in some of those areas farther north, please, around the San Juans and up around Whatcom County, where we could see some of those wind chills back into the teens over the next couple of nights, maybe even the single digits by early Wednesday morning. Okay, everyone, well, take care. Hopefully that you guys have a good night, and welcome to another work week. Definitely have a safe time out there as you get ready to make your way into your work week. We'll talk to you later coming up here over the next couple of days. See ya.